So we here at Free Tours by Foot often get asked the question, when is a good time of year to visit insert city here? So my colleague Becca and I, we've chatted with tour guides all over the world, and we are pretty avid travelers ourselves. We thought we'd go over some of the reasons why traveling in the fall is the best. Do you say fall or autumn?
Fall.
Always?
Yeah. Autumn. Autumn. No.
Okay.
It's not for me. It's not for me.
Okay, well, I say autumn sometimes.
I'm not fancy like that.
Why does everyone put on a southern accent when they're trying to be the opposite?
I'm going to my roots.
There's nothing wrong with autumn. I say fall, but I write autumn apparently.
I say fall. Unless I'm talking about autumnal colors.
That's true. Autumnal. It's very Lion Witch in the wardrobe.
Yeah, very.
Welcome to Free Tours by Foot. I'm Camden, and I'm here to take you around the world for the best travel tips, how-to guides, and tour highlights. To keep finding out more, subscribe to this channel, and if you want to join us on one of our walking tours, visit us at freetoursbyfoot.com. You know that September, October, November aren't always fall, I guess, depending on where in the world you are. So we will be chatting about North America and Europe mostly in relation to our tips and why you should travel in the fall. I know it's pretty cliche, but I love going to New England.
Yeah.
In the fall. It's
pretty. I am from a part of the U.S. where growing up the leaves did not change color, so
she didn't have leaves.
Yeah,
have leaves.
Barely. So coming up on the East Coast, D.C., and then going further north up through New York and New England to see the fall colors is really beautiful. People don't think about D.C. having fall colors, but it really does. And then as you just continue north, you're going to get a lot of that. Even in the cities like New York and Boston, you don't necessarily have to go to the rural areas to get that beautiful fall coloring.
Central Park.
Yeah.
Not
oh
rural.
My gosh, Central Park in fall is gorgeous.
We So have you ever heard of leaf peeping?
Yeah, you straight up peep those leaves.
Yeah. So I grew up in a leaf peeping family. So we went north for autumn, for fall every year. You know, I also love Prague in the fall. Not that I frequently go to Prague.
Every fall.
Every fall I go to Prague. But it's just it's a hearty meal, it's a good beer, cider, what have you, and the city's very golden, so it just seems very appropriate for the fall.
I would say, and there's certainly a busy time to visit, but that would be true for Germany, like Munich and Berlin. Obviously, you're hitting into the Oktoberfest season, so lots of tourists, but it is so beautiful and the weather's so nice, so you can see why that's so popular. That would be a word of warning in general for fall travel, that depending on the destination, specifically if you're leaf peeping or hitting up some of these fall festivals that can happen in different cities, you should be planning for some crowds. That said, other destinations see a drop-off in the fall, so you might be able to kind of hit that shoulder season, which is travelers, we love being somewhere where there's a lot open but not as many people in line to see it.
Yeah, Charleston's a great place to visit in the fall because you kind of lost that summer humidity, but it's not high on a lot of people's lists, so you're going to have a lot less crowds. You know what I recently learned? Oktoberfest isn't always in October.
It is not, no.
So yeah, specific to whatever city you are visiting, make sure you know whether that's actually peak season or a peak weekend for them. Because one of the benefits of traveling in the fall is flights are less expensive, hotels are less expensive, but if you happen to be going somewhere that has a reason that people come to that city for that specific event, then they probably won't be less expensive. Yes, fall weather.
This is my favorite reason to do as much traveling in the fall as I can, and why I love having tourists come and see us in the fall is typically the weather is just more temperate. You're gonna have those warm days, cooler nights, but the sort of thing where you can wear the light layers. You're not gonna get as much of the thunderstorms. You're past hurricane season for places like Savannah and Charleston and down in the southern United States, but you're not getting into any of that snow or ice yet most places either.
You can break out your fall boots.
Yes, love a boots, love a scarf, love a flannel.
Fall fashion is probably love a flannel. You get orange flannel for everybody.
But truly, you don't have to pack big heavy coats. You're not having to worry about changing clothes 3 times a day because it's super hot. So it's just a great time. You definitely want to plan for when it is a little cooler, especially if you're going to be outside in the evening, so the light jacket or the light layers. But it's a great time to just be out. Fall is just perfect patio weather. It's perfect to be sitting outside, whether you're in a beer garden, whether you're sitting out enjoying a rooftop bar.
Taking a walking tour.
Walking tour for sure. I love a good rooftop, especially if I'm somewhere like Chicago or New York that has a great skyline. Love to be up on a rooftop bar. So the fall season, especially in the United States, kind of brings up a great holiday, a holiday that I really enjoy, which is Halloween. And so as you're traveling around in October, a lot of cities do haunted festivals, haunted houses, ghost tours. It's a really good time if you want to kind of spook yourself out a little bit or get into maybe the darker side of a city. I know places like Savannah and Charleston in particular really have a lot of great offerings in October, but almost anywhere has something with Halloween. So I think that's a really fun perk, especially if you're like me, you're a movie buff. You can go see something like The Exorcist Stairs in Washington, D.C. Right around Halloween, it's ideal.
So another thing to know about traveling in the fall, you often don't need tickets for a lot of the top attractions anymore, like time tickets such as the Holocaust Memorial Museum. They just have open entry in the off season as you get towards the end of fall.
One thing for fall, I think we should mention too, are boat tours. Fall is a great time to be out on the water. So I love in New York, they have the architecture tour around Manhattan. It's one of my favorite tours because it actually goes all the way and circumvents Manhattan. But fall is a great time to be out on the water because again, you've got that great kind of weather where you're not hitting the peak kind of summer boat tourists.
Yeah.
So this is just a little overview, but if you want some more specifics, especially for cities in the U.S. and abroad, be sure to follow our social media channels. We'll be posting on our Facebook page, Free Tours by Foot, and our Twitter page, Free Tours by Foot, and our Instagram page, Free Tours by Foot. And we'll be posting some specific fall activities for this year and for the future. So if you follow our social media channels, you'll see the best of fall all around the country, all around the world. Be sure to subscribe here, or here, or here. I don't know where Hannah puts it. Subscribe here.
I actually think it's here, but
Subscribe here.
you'll find it. Just here. Subscribe.